What's up, everyone? Christian Duque, StrengthAddicts.com. I'm here with Mark Wilson and Josh Reichert. We're at Affordable Athletic Supplements, and this interview is actually right before their arm wrestling match, just in about a week, correct, guys?
Yep.
So you're both on the bigger side here. We've got a super heavy and we've got a heavy. And so a lot of people are going to want to know how you guys got this big, and at the same time, you're also arm wrestlers, because a lot of people, you know, they have an idea what an arm wrestler looks like, and you guys kind of look like power lifters, bodybuilders, something like that. You're both machinists, so you both, you know, have pretty intense jobs. But take us back to when you got started with arm wrestling. Like, how did that all come about? Whoever wants to go first.
I think 15 years ago, right out of high school, saw some of the flyers for the county fair, and, you know, big kid, played football my whole life, athletic. Decided to try it out, and I think my very first match was with a guy out of Ohio. He was a veteran puller, Mike Strong. I think he was in his late 50s, so of course it's like, oh, I'm going to smash him. And he beat me up pretty good. And I think that's what kind of lit the fire. You know, I knew I was stronger than him in the gym, but there was just something about it, tendon strength, hand strength, that I just could not match, you know. And that's what kind of lit the fire. It's just not all strength. There's a lot more to it than that.
Right. And Mark?
Like Josh said, we went to a county fair tournament, and I got beat by somebody, better side pressure and hand. So it lit the fire to get better at that technique. So that's how we got started in this arm wrestling.
And it almost seems like, you know, losing your first match might actually be better than winning your first match.
Gosh.
Because, you know, if you win your first one, I could see where you get real cocky and maybe even injure yourself because you think that everything you're doing is on point. In terms of the size, the kind of work you guys do, and the fact that, again, a lot of it is functional muscle and a lot of it is forearm strength and grip. Because a lot of bodybuilders, I think, make the mistake that they focus almost exclusively on biceps and triceps, and they forget that there's a third part to the arm, which is the forearm, and there's also the grip. So what do you guys do to ensure that your grip is, you know, on the level it needs to be successful in arm wrestling?
A lot of fat grip training, deadlifts. We deadlift with fat grips. Curl with fat grips. We try to do everything we can with fat grips. Whatever we do, you hold the weight until you can't hold it anymore. You know, you make your hand fail, and that seems to be a big part of it.
Now, when it comes also, Mark, I believe Mark, or maybe it was you, talked about side pressure. Side pressure seems to be like one of those things also that a lot of people maybe new to arm wrestling don't really understand. They don't understand exactly how that. Can you explain what side pressure is in terms of a match, how it comes into play?
Yeah, I use a lot of it. I hook mostly, and it's a lot of that inner elbow drive, right? It helps kind of set your hook, but it's kind of hard to train for it. You know, it's very easy to get hurt trying to train for it. We've developed it mostly by just table time, right? Just forcing side pressure. Too many people try to push with it and kind of drive it with your shoulder sideways, and that's, you know, instead of actually pulling and developing that pulling side pressure.
And something that Steve had brought up on the first interview, and again, it's something that I think that a lot of arm wrestlers deal with, you know, is elbow pains, arm injuries, and that sort of thing. And we both agreed. I mean, my opinion really on the matter is really inconsequential because I'm just getting into it now. But, you know, he's got decades in the sport, and a lot of people in the sport have said it also, that if you're not really at a high level of competition, in other words, if you don't have elbow issues or injuries of some sort, you're not at a high level of competition because it's so common. But what you're talking about with side pressure, that's not even something that could have happened during competition. You're saying you could actually get injured practicing
just
that
training
stuff.
for it.
Just training for it.
Yes.
So that's very interesting, really. Now, in terms of matches, though, again, a big question too. A lot of people think it's all about the momentum, the brute force. Sort of almost catch your opponent by surprise and overwhelm them with overwhelming force. What's your approach? Let's say, hypothetically, if we just can play along, if you were going up against someone that you were really concerned with, someone that you just want to neutralize fast, what would your approach be?
A ton of back pressure. Just try to slow that hit down. And if I do get out hit, I still hopefully have the out to slip, go to the strap. As of late, I've tried to get faster, that momentum, that fast hit. But my main thing is I want to stop a match. If I can stop the match, I feel like I can win.
Do you see the strap as something that's beneficial, or something that you kind of dread a little bit?
Oh no, I love it. Beneficial.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel a ton stronger in the strap. A lot of little tricks and techniques in the strap you can use.
And we're not going to ask you for those, though, especially not a week before the match. I mean, we're not going to ask you for those, 'cause I'm sure folks that you're going to be up against are going to be watching this, hoping they can get a leg up on you. Now, what about you, Mark? Like, if you were up against someone that I don't want to say that you feared, but someone that definitely got your attention, what would your approach be?
Well, you got to do your own match. I know I'm good at the hook in certain arms, so I'll go into the hook. If I get beat, I'll just go back, talk to my team, and find a better angle to go with this opponent, and try that approach with them. If I make it back up to them.
Right. And with a strap, are you?
I don't like the strap personally.
Okay. Now, Mark did bring something up that I was curious about both of you. Are you guys comfortable with both arms, or do you guys have a favorite, or?
I'm more comfortable left-handed.
Okay.
But I'm right-hand dominant.
Right. Because I have actually seen, and I don't know if you want to answer that or not, but I have seen folks that are actually almost equal with both, which is actually kind of crazy, because most humans, I guess, are dominant on one or the other. And like, again, I hate to bring Devin up again, but he's like, he's someone that's actually been successful with both. You know what I mean? And almost to the point where injuries have forced him to go to the other arm. It's not even a question of choice. It's just a question of staying in the game. Mm-hmm. So, some people can't do that.
Yeah. I feel comfortable pulling either arm. I think my outside's a little better left-handed. But, yeah, I mean, either arm I feel very confident in.
Okay. And then I guess the last question, because I had asked Steve this after the interview, and I'd kind of be curious with you guys, legs. Again, posture, legs, how you stand, proximity. Actually, proximity on two regards: proximity to the table and proximity to your opponent. Because I've noticed that some arm wrestlers stand closer and some stand a little bit farther away. Some will activate the arm, some won't. There's like a lot of little things that happen even before the match starts. What's your take on that? Like your posture, your leg strength? Because you deadlift also, you said, right?
Yeah. Just a good base. I like to keep my hips up under me, as tight to the table as I can, and you want to almost drive with it, right? I feel like I drive with my hip, but I can't set. Most of the time you're thinking a right angle, 90-degree angle. I can't set tighter than that. I just don't feel strong, so I almost want to stay back, right? And I feel a little more comfortable there.
Gotcha. And Mark?
Basically the same approach. But I like to stay a little closer to my body. I feel more comfortable closer to myself. And I drive my legs and throw my body weight into it.
Gotcha. Okay, I did say that was the last question. I lied, though. One more.
Yeah.
I promise. Do you guys ever trash talk? I mean, if you... No? Okay.
No.
I've seen that, though, and I don't know if it's poor form or if it's just anything to win or what it is, but it's interesting, too, because... it looked like Devin was doing that at that match with Big Frank. It looked like he was like really.
Mind games.
Yeah.
I enjoy to see it, but that's not my thing.
Definitely. All right, guys. So, social media. I mean, everyone's got it. If folks want to follow you, if folks want to contact you, if they want to say good luck for the match next week, where can they go?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Josh Reichert.
And
Facebook, Mark Wilson.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So next week, I think we're just about a week away. We are here at Affordable Athletic Supplements. They are the title sponsor of the match next week in Covington at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. I know that arm wrestling matches get very loud, which I think is really good for adrenaline because, you guys are just like, everybody wants to see, everybody, you can't get close enough, which is great. I like that about the sport. I want to thank you guys for taking the time. Thank you again for Josh Reichert, Mark Wilson, Christian Duque, StrengthAddicts.com.